Okay, this is funny. I opened my door. They opened their eyes for a brief moment and then went right on back to lounging. What y'all doing in my garden? They said this our garden now. Hello? Hey, boys. I mean, just not, what? Just ain't even opening their eyes. That was so good. Somebody has a lot to say in there. Okay. So y'all, I straight up forgot about my rutabagas. This one is looking like it's ready to go. I am gonna go ahead and pick them. I'm gonna call it. Even though they're still growing. I mean, the tops of the leaves are still growing. I don't feel like those are gonna get much bigger. I'm gonna go ahead and pick them. But something cool I wanted to show y'all. Oh, my collard greens are growing again. And I knew they would. I knew they would. So they're coming back. It's not unusual at all. If you leave the plant and just harvest leaves, they'll come back. We're still eating on all this kale. Eric used some yesterday morning in our breakfast. Here's something else that's funny. The Swiss chard, which I really thought was just done, it's coming back. That's also good in breakfast. I had been ignoring this patch and the one back there, but yeah, they're coming back too. I was gonna start looking into cleaning out the beds and getting them ready for the spring, even though we still have some time. And I've already started working on my garden plan. Hey, Chaco. It's not time yet. I'll give you food in a little while. Hey, buddy. He was talking to me. But I decided not to because I'll insert the picture and show you why. Isn't that interesting? So there's actually folks living in these stems right now, and I definitely want to leave them for the pollinators. I don't want to disturb them. I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, so I don't want to mess with that, so that they have an opportunity to grow. I mean, to, you know, pupate or whatever. So especially the black eyed peas, I'm gonna leave these. And this is actually really great because they have really done some good work for the soil over this season. They fixed nitrogen in the soil. Beans, peas specifically, black eyed peas and stuff like that are nitrogen fixing. So the soil has gotten a really good boost. Leaving that alone for now so that can keep doing its job, and I'll clean it out later. But I am getting ready to start my seeds inside for my spring and summer plants. I'll show y'all. I need to show y'all what the garden is gonna, what my plan is like so far. It's really rough, but I've got a plan of what I want to do so far. Got to cut back the canes for the raspberries. And then the fig. Oh my gosh, are you trying to grow? Baby, it's too soon. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. It's February though. It's the end of February and it's so cold. Well, it's wonderful today, but it's like gonna get cold again next week. Hey buddy, are you talking to me? Oh, well, I don't want to watch you take a bath. Chaco. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you food right now. There's food over there anyway. So yeah, that's a little bit of what's going on out here. This is the doldrums of a wintering over garden. But I love that I still have a little bit of something going on out here. So I have my greens that I can grab and eat. My kale mainly, and I'm gonna grab that Swiss chard. No, I'm not. I'm gonna grab those rutabaga, but you know what? I have to think about where I'm gonna put them. So I'm not gonna grab them right now. I might wait. But I had forgotten about them, y'all. I had straight up forgotten about them. And I honestly don't know if they're woody now and not edible, but we'll see. Here is my herb garden done for the season. There is a little bit of sage and a little bit of rosemary kind of hanging on. Oh, I forgot a little bit of thyme coming up. But yeah, this is it being very worn out right now. So when hi honey, I'm not getting you. When it starts to warm up, we'll know it's time. They'll start coming back. Oh, I dropped a bunch of peas over here. Huh. Well, So yeah, this is a winter garden, y'all. It is looking rough. If I had a greenhouse, it will be going better, but it's okay. I have been using my energy in other endeavors right now, so I am prepping for the spring, getting everything ready. I got to start. I already pulled out my seeds and started planting and bought seedlings, or not seedlings, but potatoes and onions to start getting into the ground. And I'll be doing that within the next week. So you'll see me getting that going. But you're also going to see my video in my series about a beginner's gardening series that'll be coming out soon about planning, about laying out your garden plan, like mapping out your plan, because that's incredibly important before you just start putting stuff out there, to know where you want it to go, to make sure things aren't crowding out one another, to make sure that you're planning enough space for, say, not just one crop, but one plant in that crop, because certain plants are going to grow really big, like tomatoes, for instance. There's a helicopter flying by. Certain crops are going to grow really big, like a tomato plant grows really large, as opposed to a carrot plant, which grows not as large. So you don't need as much space for one carrot as you do for one tomato. So you really need to know those kinds of things so that you can know how to do your spacing and how to get the biggest bang for your buck. This is what the sweet potatoes are looking like. I think we're about a week in. You can see that roots are forming. Oops. I do change out the water frequently. There's some roots there. On top, you can just see little bits poking out. Teeny tiny bits of slips poking out. There's some roots in there. This is a Starbucks cup with snowflakes on it, so it might be hard to see the roots. But you can just see little slips starting to come out there. Oh, on that one, there's a slip coming up out of the water because I actually just refilled this today. So there's a slip coming up there and there's roots down in there. And then this one I think has a little something coming off the top as well. Roots down in there. This one still looking, mostly what it's doing is just producing roots. The slips aren't growing any bigger. So this is what I have so far. I do need to actually start some regular sweet potatoes so they can start producing slips as well. But I haven't gotten to that yet. But I told you I would try to give you a regular update. So this is your weekly update for this batch. My mother-in-law got me this book a few years ago. Thanks, Mom. And it is a gardener's journal. I really like it because it helps me keep track of things, but I had misplaced it, I think when we moved. So I got it back out this year, and I've been doing some planning for this year, planning for what I want to grow. It's really good to sit down and think about that before you get out there and just start doing stuff. So I've been planning what I want to grow, and I even laid out a little plot, very, very rudimentary, just basic plot of what my garden looks like and where I think I want to put things for the upcoming year. And I wanted to make sure to include like the walkways, flower patches, where things already are, like the fig tree and the blueberry bush and the herbs, and then new things that I want to put. And you also have to remember there's certain things that can't go near to one another. Like it's not good to put tomatoes and potatoes next to one another. So I keep them as far apart as possible. The tomatoes are always back here and the potatoes are always on this end. Although, I would love to put them over here, but the potatoes, but I can't because they shouldn't be near the tomatoes since they tend to share pests. They're both nightshades and they tend to attract the same kind of bugs. So you don't want to put them near one another. You also have to consider where the sun is coming from, where the north and the south are, or east and west, I guess. No, north and south, because you need to know like what plants are going to grow tall and potentially block out other plants. So I also put the taller things at this end of the garden. So I have like okra and tomatoes and things like that down here, beans, corn, all on this side because the sun tends to come up like around over here. And so this area is going to get sun later than this area. Is that right, hon? Yeah. This side's going to get sun. Wait, what am I trying to say? This side has to have the tallest stuff or else it will block the sunlight out from the shorter things. So my tallest stuff is going over here. Yeah, but what I was saying was this side gets the sun later in the day than this side. Yeah. And that's true. So I'll have things like green beans, potatoes, things that are shorter plants on this side. And you might not know those things before you get started. So it's good to kind of look that kind of information up, or rely on people like me to tell you. Shorter plants would be, I don't grow pole beans. So for me, my green beans will be bush beans. So I'm going to put them down here. Potatoes down here. None of those will get above like 2.5 feet tall. My strawberries will be down here, sweet potatoes, asparagus, carrots. I'm going to have squash along the back here, and the squash will climb, but I'm okay with it because this area still gets enough sunlight during the day to make up for those climbing squash that will block out the sunlight a little bit. Then on this end, I will have more green beans that again won't be too tall. I'll have peppers, which won't be tall, and onions, which definitely won't be tall. And then some tomatoes over here. And this side will have some of the tall stuff, like I said earlier, corn and lots of okra. So that's what I'm looking at for right now. But I mainly brought this up because I wanted to show you that it's super important, even if you don't have like a journal, to get yourself somewhere, get a tablet, get something where you start to write down what you're planning. That's going to help you immensely when it gets time to get out there into the garden. Those are my garden shenanigans for this week, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching. Please make sure that you comment, thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you're interested in more information about how to start a garden, check out the video that I'm going to post here, okay? It'll really give you lots of good information to get started on your gardening journey. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.